Halloween's origins dates back to the 5th century BC in Celtic Ireland. It was the 31st of October. Summer had ended. This holiday was called Samhain, known as the Celtic New Year. The Celts believed that on this day, ghosts of the dead would return to the earth in search of those they could possess. Naturally, those living did not want to be possessed and would make their homes cold and undesirable. They would dress up in devilish costumes and would be as destructive as possible to frighten these spirits away. They would burn alive anyone they thought had been possessed. This was supposed to be a lesson to the spirits. In 1st century AD, Samhain was mixed into various Roman traditions that took place in October. These practices changed over time to become more ritualized. Soon after, the beliefs about spirit possession decreased, and the practice of dressing up like goblins, ghosts, and witches took on a more ceremonial role and became the tradition of dressing in costumes for Halloween. By the end of the 20th century, Halloween had lost most of its superstitious religious overtones. Trick-or-treating did not originate with the Celts, but with the 9th century European custom called souling. In 1000 AD, November the 2nd was called All Souls' Day, a day to honor the dead. Poor citizens would beg for food from families who would give them pastries called soul cakes, in return for their promise to pray for that family's dead relatives. At the time, it was believed that the dead remained in limbo for a time after death, and that prayer, even by strangers, would speed up a soul's access to heaven. This practice was eventually taken up by children who would visit the houses in their neighborhood and be given ale, food, and money. Pumpkin carving, which is also known as the jack-o'-lantern custom, is a popular part of modern America's Halloween celebration. The practice originated from an Irish myth about a man named Jack, who was known as a drunkard and a trickster. According to the folk tale, Jack tricked Satan into climbing a tree and then carved an image of a cross in the tree's trunk, trapping the devil up the tree. Jack made a deal with the devil that if he would never tempt him again, he would promise to let him down the tree. Soon after, Jack died, and the myth continues in saying that Jack was denied access into heaven because of his evil ways, and also denied access to hell because he had tricked the devil. Instead, the devil gave him a single spark to light his way through darkness. The spark was placed inside a hollowed-out turnip to keep it glowing longer. However, the Americans found that pumpkins were far more plentiful than turnips and began using hollowed-out pumpkins instead. Halloween now is one of the world's oldest holidays and is being celebrated in several countries around the world.